the pitch and there's no run. Rashid Khan bowling with a slip in. I think there's a feeling that Rashid Khan's not been bowling as well, or is being quite as effective in T20 in recent times, but the stats don't necessarily say that. He goes in now and bowls, and it's played uppishly almost back to him. Steps forward, can't get there to take the return catch off the bat of Quinton de Kock. His numbers actually stack up pretty well in international cricket. He had a good time in the South Africa T20 competition. Just in the IPL of late, he's gone around the park a bit. Rashid bowls, and that's lofted away by de Kock. It was quite full, out towards the long off boundary and over it. That's gone for 6. Well, an excellent shot from Quinton de Kock. He goes to 31, and South Africa to 49 for 1 in the 7th.
Yeah, brilliant shot from de Kock. The googly from Rashid Khan, and he's given himself a little bit of room, and with the over-pitch delivery, he's managed to hit it straight through the line over long off. It's a fantastic shot from Quinton de Kock, and South Africa are going to need a few more of these to put their spinners under pressure here.
I wonder what you feel about Rashid. What does your instinct tell you about how well he's bowling of late? His bowl's there to de Kock, just dragging his length back a bit, knocked away into the onside towards mid-wicket. They scamper through for a single. South Africa's 50 is on the board, 50 for 1 in the 7th.
Well, he's had a few injuries over the last year or so. He's struggled with his back, so he's had a bit of time out of the game. And I think as well, with the manner of cricket he plays and everywhere that he does play in the world, people are used to facing him slightly more now. So people probably have more of a game plan against him. And I guess when you get used to someone, it makes it easier.
Rashid bowls, and Rickelton goes back and clips it away into the onside, out towards mid-on. And also, I suppose there's one run. I suppose there's so much expectation every time he comes on. You're hoping for a 2 for 16 from 4 overs kind of spell from him, and it doesn't always work out like that. We saw Adil Rashid go around the park the other day in that match involving England. That one's down the leg side, an appeal for a catch, but nothing doing from the umpire there. He's signalling wide. We've seen that happen so often where the keeper will appeal. Perhaps there was a little noise of something, scratching boot on the ground or something, but no one was happy just to turn and go back to mark and accept the wide. 52 for 1. Rashid bowls short outside the off stump, cut away by de Kock towards deep cover. One more run to de Kock against a 33, and South Africa after 7 overs are 53 for 1. So Rashid Khan's first over there has gone for 10.
Yeah, steady start. I think the other thing that we can talk about Rashid Khan as well is a lot of teams try not to take as many risks against him early. They try to get him and sort of knock him around for a little bit. I know Quinton de Kock just played a fantastic shot there and put him under a bit of pressure, but they try and knock him around a bit, try and take him for 24 to 30 and play as low risk cricket against him as you can. He's their wicket taker and he's they rely on. So if you can knock him around, take down the other guys, it puts Afghanistan under a lot of pressure.
He went for 36 the other day against New Zealand. I suppose it was one of those days when Rashid came into the attack, you're just hoping, well, Afghanistan were hoping he could come up with a 2 for 24 day or 2 for 20 day. Nabi bowls round the wicket, nudged away by de Kock for another run. I say a run, they'll actually walk to the various ends, just conserving energy. 54 for 1, start of the 8th over. Afghanistan rattling through their overs. We've had a drinks break already. This is the 8th over. We've been playing for just around half an hour, so they're on a 16 overs per hour at the moment. Nabi bowls to Rickelton, wide of off stump, miscue, and it's gone over the keeper's head. It's come down fine. It is a quick outfield. There wasn't much on that, but they get a very sketchy 2 there. Well, he got away with one, Rickelton. Takes him to 16, 56 for 1.
Yeah, it was brilliantly bowled by Nabi. He's taken all the pace off it. He's bowled a lot of arm balls leading up to that, and he's taken the pace right out of it. And Rickelton's gone for the big slog sweep, got a top edge, sloppy fielding to be, if we're being honest. Probably should have only been 1.
Nabi bowls to Rickelton. Rickelton hits this away into the onside for 6. Over the wide long on boundary. Step in and fetch it. Smacked away, and then Nabi's gone for 18 now from his 9 balls. 62 for 1. South Africa beginning to make some progress.
Yeah, similar ball to the ball before. Rickelton this time getting right down, not as much bounce, managing to smack it in between cow corner and wide long on. It's actually, Nabi's an incredibly tricky ball to take down as a left-hander, so these two are putting him under pressure early and really making Afghanistan think.
Nabi bowls short outside the off stump, clattered away but straight to cover. Rashid Khan is there, the skipper, and there's no run that time. 62 for 1. We're in the 8th over. Afghanistan putting South Africa into bat. Rickleton's 22 not out from 14 balls. Nabi bowls to him, short outside the off stump, cut away, out towards deep cover. Will only be a single. 63 for 1. With that 1 ball left in the 8th over. Two batters meet in mid-pitch, mainly because they have brought up the 50 partnership. So just a little clutch of the gloves to celebrate that. Wicket going at 12. Here's Nabi, dabbed away into the offside by Ducott. I reckon they got there a run late actually to celebrate the 50 partnership. I reckon that was the 51st run. Perhaps they didn't realise, and they suddenly did realise and decided to give each other a low 5. So it's the end of the over. It's 64 for 1 after 8 overs, and this is David Malan.
Yeah, South Africa ticking over nicely here. Just got that run rate up, 2 sixes in the last 2 overs. Just managing to put Afghanistan under pressure, making Rashid Khan think about what he wants to do with his bowlers. Nabi's gone for 20 in his 2. Rashid bowling again over here, trying to find that wicket. They really need that breakthrough for Afghanistan here, so anything they can do to find that wicket.
Here is Rashid bowling. He's hit down the ground by Ducott. There's a shout of catch it, but it's done the fielder as well. He's ran past it. It must have spun to his left-hand side. It was Sedikala Atal on the long-on boundary. Initially there was a shout of catch, and it bounced in front of him, and then he ran past it, and it spun away to his left-hand side, and it's gone away for 4. Well, he thought it might be a wicket, then he thought it might be 1. It ended up being 4.
That's got to be the worst feeling.
It was worst feeling and worst fielding in the same sentence there, as that one is nudged away into the onside for another run. So 1 more to the total. 69 for 1 in the 9th. There's always the danger when it was slightly miscued out towards the long on boundary. It is going to spin past you, but it was not a great piece of fielding from Sedikala Atal. So you have to be aware of the potential for that spin. Rashid bowls, reverse sweep from Rickleton. The shout, catch it again, but it's gone wide of the fielder, and it's gone for 4 more. Well, Rashid Khan struggling here. He's gone now for 19 from his first 9 balls, and South Africa making good progress, beginning to make good progress. 8 4s and 3 6s, 73 for 1 in the 9th.
Yeah, they are. Very good reverse sweep. Afghanistan still got the slip in for the 2 left-handers, and he's played a reverse sweep over the short point. Rashid
bowls on a short ball, pulled away by Rickleton towards deep back of square leg. There is a fielder there on the deep backward square leg boundary, so it's only a single this time. In the 9th over, 74 for 1. Afghanistan looking to hustle through South Africa here, but South Africa are meeting the challenge. Ducock's on 40 from 27. Rashid goes round the wicket, bowls to him. Ducock strokes it away. Nice looking shot, but he gets absolutely nothing for it. He's hit it straight at Noor Ahmed. He's fielding an extra cover, no run. Ducock stays on 40, 74 for 1. Last ball of the 9th. Rashid bowls, tickled away by Ducock through mid-wicket for a single to keep the strike at the end of the 9th over. So Rashid's gone 2 overs for 21, and South Africa are 75 for 1 after 9 overs.
Very good start from South Africa here. After being put into bat, only 1 wicket down, being able to take Rashid Khan for 21 off their 2 overs is going to make Rashid Khan think about his bowling changes, whether he brings Mujib back, who he tends to keep for slightly later in towards the death to save his lack of seam bowlers. But I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see the introduction of Noor Ahmed pretty soon. Very good left arm spinner, turns the ball both ways and bowls a really good pace, so it'll be challenging for these 2 left-handers.
And Noor Ahmed, he was CSK's leading wicket taker in the 2025 IPL, so a lot of these players now know these conditions so well, not just Afghan players played in the IPL, but also of course South Africans. Ducock, for example, has been a champion player in the IPL, and it is going to be Noor Ahmed to bowl the 10th over, and Afghanistan feeling the pressure, need a wicket. Here he goes. Left arm over, bowls, and de Kock goes down the ground in the air. Now where's this going? It's going for 6. Noor into the attack, and he's been bunted down the ground by Quinton de Kock, who moves to 47, and South Africa to 81 for 1 in the 10th over.
Lovely shot from de Kock, playing the percentage option here, short boundary straight at Ahmedabad, and he's made full use of that. Noor Ahmed just over pitching with his first delivery. I'm unsure if that was a googly or not, but it looked like he was ready to put him under pressure from ball 1.
Yeah, 79 metres, but it went well over the rope at long on. Noor bowls, taking his length back a bit. De Kock turns it away for his 48th run, backward of square. 82 for 1 in the 10th over. It's a game that deserves a bigger crowd, this, the semi-final from last time round. A day game, 11 o'clock start in Ahmedabad. Well done to those who have turned up. It was interesting actually with this World Cup, the venues, 5 venues in India, all the big venues, or most of them. The idea being that everyone travelling around in the month of the tournament, as that one is from Noor. It's helped on its way by Rickerson. That's 6 as well. Well, he brought Noor into the attack to try to calm things down to get a wicket. He's gone 6-1-6. It's 88 for 1 in the 10th over. I suppose just playing, if you play on 5 grounds, then are you asking a bit too much of the spectators to turn up for game after game after game? One of the features of cricket in India is taking the game around the country, and you see big crowds in some of the smaller venues, but that does put a lot of pressure on the players and the officials and the TV companies with all their equipment to set up at the various venues. So they've just gone for 5, and that might have an effect on the crowds. And there are spectators in, but I mean, it does look quite empty, of course, this ground. If there isn't a huge crowd in, but it is not a huge crowd. As Rickerton drives through extra cover, that's a nice looking shot. That's going to be 4 as well. 6-1, 6-4. Noor's gone for 17 from his 4 balls. Just wonder, is this tournament slipping away for Afghanistan? Okay, it's early days. We're not up to the 10th over of the match yet, but South Africa already 92 for 1.
South Africa finding ways to put the spinners under pressure, and that's a lovely cover drive from Rickerton.
Noor bowls to Rickerton, wide of off stump, clouted away into the offside. That's beaten extra cover as well. That's gone for 4. Well, this was not the over that Rashid Khan was expecting, hoping for from Noor Ahmed into the side today. He's gone for 21 runs, and he's still got a ball to go. And we're not even at the halfway stage of South Africa's innings, and they're already up to 96 for 1.
Very uncharacteristic from Noor Ahmed. A slight misfield from Rashid Khan. He'd be disappointed with that, but he very rarely misses full. He's so good at holding his length, Noor Ahmed, and he's over-pitched 4 occasions, and all 4 of those have been dispatched to the boundary. So he needs to bring his length back. He needs to bring the stumps into play and try and make South Africa go across the line of a good length.
We've got 10 4s and 5 6s already inside the first 10 overs. Last ball of the 10th over. That one is not quite as full. It's clipped away by Rickerton towards deep mid-wicket. They're coming back for the second. Throws on its way to the non-striker's end, and a direct hit there. It might have been out, but it bounced in front of the bowler and then hit him, and then deflected into no man's land. But they couldn't get through for an extra run, but they did come back for 2. So we have had 10 overs of South Africa's innings in this really significant match in the T20 World Cup, with at the moment, this Group D match, at the moment, Afghanistan really feeling the pressure. It's a game they really have to win. Okay, so 98 for 1. More from you, David, and then for the next 5 overs, commentary from Nikesh Regani.
Yeah, South Africa in a fantastic position here, 98 for 1 after 10. The perfect sort of launch pad now for South Africa, with 10 overs to go, 9 wickets in hand, all the power that they have. Afghanistan spinners struggling to contain the pressure, struggling to build some pressure, and then bringing Mujib back now to try and see if they can do something. One of their more defensive bowlers, and it'll be interesting to see how South Africa go about this with 9 wickets in hand and how hard they want to go. They've almost approached it a little bit like an old school T20, taking their time in the first 6 and then accelerated afterwards in the consolidation period, if you want to put it that way. But it's been a good start.
Mujib in then to de Kock, who works the ball into the leg side for a single. Yeah, interesting roll of the dice here with Mujib coming back into the attack. 2 overs, none for 17 before this spell. South Africa at the moment set for a score in excess of 200 with 9 wickets in hand still. 2 set batters there. Can Mujib break this partnership? It's full to Rickleton, who works the ball to long on for a single. And that's the 100 up as well for South Africa. 2 balls into the 11th over. Gentle round of applause from supporters in the ground as Mujib rushes through the over, and de Kock is forward but can only defend back down the track. Still plenty of chat from Ramanullah Gurbaz behind the stumps. Score predictor with South Africa at 200 at the moment. They'll look for a few more than that, and they'll get a few more if Mujib keeps bowling deliveries like that. It was a long hop, just sat up nicely. De Kock rocked back, picked his spot out towards deep mid-wicket, smashes the ball for 4 and brings up a very well played half-century after a slowish start. He's 53 from 34, David.
Yeah, he's been absolutely brilliant. He's picked length fantastically well today. Anything that's been over-pitched, he's managed to dispatch to the boundary, and every time they've missed short, he's been able to score.
Mujib in again, and de Kock works the ball into a gap there at short mid-wicket and runs through for a single. There's a bit of a collision with Mujib as well, but no damage done in the end, I don't think. De Kock with a gentle celebration, a raise of the bat towards his teammates and staff in the dugout. Next ball is full. Shouts of catch as Rickleton slog sweeps high in the air out towards deep mid-wicket and over the rope. Anyway, it's going to be caught, is in the crowd there. 11 overs gone, 111 for 6, 50 for Ryan Rickleton as well, 51 from just 23.
Yeah, he's gone about that quite quietly, actually, the fact that he's got 51 of 23 balls, but he's done that exceptionally well. He's played the great foil to Quinton de Kock there, and it was a googly from Mujib, and he still managed to slog sweep that over wide long on. That's an absolutely fantastic shot. Ball turning away from him with the bounce, and it wasn't really there to hit, so he's done exceptionally well to get that for 6 and keep the pressure on Afghanistan.
99 partnership as well of just 51 balls between these two. So when Aidan Markram fell, South Africa were 12 for 1 in the 3rd over. Brilliant turnaround since then, and I guess that's the thing about T20 cricket, isn't it, David? You've played a lot of it, of course, and even that New Zealand game that Afghanistan were involved in at the start of the competition on Sunday, they took a couple of early wickets, Mujib with 2 in 2 in the power play, but you can't afford to let that play on your mind as a batting side in modern T20 cricket, as Ahmedabad runs in, bowls, slower delivery to de Kock, who just dabs the ball towards deep point. Looks for 2, and they are going to get 2. He has to put in the dive in the end, but it's a bit of lax fielding, really, from the sweepers on the offside. A little bit unsure as to who's going to go and field that ball, and South Africa equal to it.
Yeah, you're right. And talking about how you build partnerships in T20 cricket, whether you've lost wickets or not, these two have done it fantastically well. They've been able to pick up the 2s. They've managed to put teams under pressure, and as soon as you can get that partnership going in the T20 cricket, especially on good wickets when there's not a lot of turn.
Ahmedabad goes short and wide, and that's been cut by de Kock, but only as far as deep cover for a single.
It makes it really hard to break that partnership, and we saw last night in the game, or yesterday in the game when New Zealand were playing as well, Finn Allen and Seifert, when they started going, it's just impossible to stop, and you need different options. And that's where Afghanistan have gone to here. They've gone back to the seamer to try and change up the pace of the game and see if something different to the spin can help change the momentum for them.
Certainly the momentum with South Africa at the moment. 102 this partnership is worth now from just 53 balls. De Kock's T20 international career, like scoring over towards deep mid-wicket as Rickleton cuts another shortish ball out towards deep backward point. Will be a couple of runs, easy couple this time, into the gap there. Rashid Khan scratching his head, really wondering what he needs to do to get this next breakthrough. He looked a frustrated figure, didn't he, against New Zealand as well, both with ball in hand and as a leader out in the field. I wonder if pressures of captaincy are getting a little bit too much for him. Oh, that's just a gimme. A full delivery on the pads, and Rickleton just flicks his wrists. Ball sails over the rope at deep mid-wicket. That was a beautiful shot.
Yeah, and he's got the field set for a wide field, wide Yorkers. He's got deep point, deep cover. I know he's got 3 on the leg side, but that felt like a little bit of a gamble ball, trying to see if he can make something happen out of nothing. And Rickleton right up to the mark and the challenge of that, and just dispatches that over the square leg boundary.
122 for 1 then. Next ball is pushed out wide of the off stump, and it's been carved away to deep cover. Just the single this time. Already another expensive over, 12 from the first 5 balls. I guess we talked about Rashid Khan, the leader there. It doesn't help when your bowlers are bowling deliveries like that and not bowling to their field.
No, it doesn't. It's incredibly frustrating as a captain when you have all these plans before a game and you're very clear.
Another one wide of the off stump is cut away by de Kock, and big shout of no when they looked to see if there was a second run on. They settled for the single. 13 runs from the over, 12 gone. South Africa 124 for 1.
And you're very clear about how you want to go about it and who you want to bowl at different stages of the game. But when you have 2 batters that play in as well as these 2 are, it becomes incredibly tricky. You have to move your bowlers around, swap them around, ask them to bowl different lines, maybe try a different attacking option, maybe change the field a little bit, but you can't just keep doing the same things expecting the results to be different. So, you know, it's from a captaincy point of view, it makes it incredibly tricky, but all you can do is keep making those bowling changes, keep asking your bowlers to bowl the best balls, wait for that mistake, and then hopefully capitalize on that.
Moment, South Africa doing everything right. Afghanistan staring at chasing down a total of well in excess of 200. Plenty of batting still to come. Bravis, Miller, Stubbs, Jansen. Could get quite messy for Afghanistan if they manage to put the brakes on any time. Here's a man who usually does put the brakes on throughout his career, Rashid Khan, but expensive today. 2 overs, none for 21.
Feel like this is the over where South Africa are really going to put their foot down against him here. I would be surprised if they try and knock him around.
Here is Rashid into de Kock, who is hit on the pad, but the ball pitching outside leg, hitting outside leg. Not a lot going for that one. A lone appeal from Rashid Khan. 2 reviews each remaining. Not seen much drama in terms of chances and reviews. De Kock moves leg side and then knocks the ball into the leg side, into a vacant mid-wicket area. Rashid with the fielding himself keeps it down to just the single. It's really good to see, isn't it, Rickleton and de Kock, despite the heat out there, despite the length of the partnership and the brilliant position they're in, they're still looking for every extra run they can eke out.
Yeah, 1 run makes such a difference in T20 cricket. We've seen it before with super overs and what have you. So yeah, the harder you can run, the more singles you can squeeze, the more 2s you can push, the better.
She bowls and Rickleton works the ball towards deep mid-wicket. They just walk through for the single this time, so deciding to conserve a bit of energy on that occasion. We saw some shots there of Rashid Khan practicing in the nets at the Modi Stadium, and had a plastic bottle cap put on a length and was trying to hit it. So he was getting it there or thereabouts. He comes to de Kock, who moves leg side, gets a short delivery. It's hit in the air out towards deep mid-wicket, and it's taken. Quinton de Kock is on his way back. He looks frustrated at not putting away that short delivery. Didn't get all of it. And Rashid Khan with the field spread wide on the leg side. The plan has worked, and finally Afghanistan get their second breakthrough. 126 for 2.
Yeah, clever bowling from Rashid Khan. Big boundary towards the leg side. Quinton de Kock just moving around his crease a little bit, trying to find a way of putting Rashid Khan off his length, but he was just too good. They held his length, and Quinton de Kock pulled that straight down to cow corner. In the previous overs, Rashid Khan had missed slightly fuller, been able to give the batters the option of hitting down the ground where the boundaries are shorter, but on this occasion he's managed to keep his length exceptionally good and held his length really well to put Quinton de Kock in the position where he had to take on a difficult option with the longer boundary.
De Kock on his way back, but Very good innings, 59 from 41. He's the anchor of the innings, really. Played some nice shots there, and wasn't by no means a bad innings, despite the difference in strike rate. But it's Ryan Rickleton who's been the aggressor in this partnership. 61 from just 27. He's still there, and he's been joined by Devol Bravis. Comes in at number 4, just 22 years of age. Lots of pressure, of course, from a very early age on Devol Bravis, being dubbed the baby A.B. de Villiers. Big shoes to fill, of course. Plenty of potential. He's his own man, and he's started well in his career so far. A good platform to work with as well. 126 for 2 balls left in the 13th over. David, I just want to touch on with you, having batted out in India plenty of times in the IPL and in international colours, was this your favourite ground to bat on, or maybe somewhere like the Wankhede Stadium? Discuss that just after this delivery from Rashid Khan, who bowls to Bravis, and there's a slight mix-up with a sort of cut shot played just forward of point, slight misfield, and eventually they are through for the single.
Oh, to go back to your question, yeah, I played quite a lot at this ground, actually. I think I played 8 or 9 games in total across international cricket and the IPL game that I played, but I actually really enjoyed Dharmashala. The view of that ground, the wicket was fantastic as well. That's honestly one of the best grounds I've ever played in the world, just sitting in that change room looking at that mountain.
Rashid in, and he's been hit on the pads right in front, Rickleton. Rashid's removed both set batters in the same over. We'll wait and see if Rickleton wants to review this. But it looked pretty straight. It was almost the celeb appeal from Rashid Khan. He is going to review the decision, Rickleton. But initial thoughts from you, David?
That looked very good to me. Around the wicket, whether that was a googly or not, it looked like it was pretty straight with the angle. Rickleton just get caught in 2 minds there, looking whether he should just knock that on the single for 1 and got caught in the crease bit. But I think that's pretty straight from my angle.
Keep going, please. Okay, no bat involved, ball tracking, please.
Very, very quick decision there from Nitin Menon, saying no bat involved. No need for ultra edge. And I think that's fair enough.
Saikat waiting for ball tracking.
The angles we've got. He's hit just above, just on the flap of the pad, isn't he? But he's deep back in his crease, is Rickleton. He's skiddy bowler, Rashid Khan. He's for a bit of pace, really. Wasn't expecting the ball to skid on as much, maybe. Rickleton playing off the back foot. Let's have a look at ball tracking now, which is just coming up on our screen.
Pitching outside off, impact in line. Wicket sitting. Thank you. I'll go back to Saikat on
There
field.
you go.
Saikat,
So
you can stay
hitting
with your decision.
Midland leg, just underneath those bails.
You're on screen now.
And Rashid Khan has made a double breakthrough in the same over. Well, I guess, look, if your other bowlers, David, are not bowling to their plan, you bring yourself on as captain, you take a couple of wickets, you show them how it's done. That is pure leadership from Rashid Khan.
Yeah, it was. And it was actually with 2 left-handers in, both on 50-odd, to bring yourself in with the ball turning in when you still have Mujib and Mohammad Nabi with 3 overs up their sleeve, to bring yourself on ball turning in. It just shows the character that you have and how much you want to change the game for your team. And he has here 2 wickets in the over, 2 set batters, 2 new batters now for South Africa. It gives Afghanistan the opportunity to bring Noor Ahmed back, to be able to attack for a little bit and see if they can squeeze South Africa and keep them under that 200 mark.
So 127 for 3 then. 7 overs remaining in the innings. David, thank you very much for now. You're going to take a short break while Michael Carberry comes back in alongside me. Carb's new batter, David Miller. I know the damage he can do, but 2 new batters now at the crease, and Afghanistan all of a sudden with their tails up in the field.
Absolutely, Rashid Khan changing the momentum in this over. That's what you expect from the great bowlers. That's what they're able to do. South Africa are ticking along very nicely with Rickleton and Quinton de Kock, but now both removed, and Miller and Brevis have got it all to do now with 7 overs left to go.
Noor Ahmed continues 23 from his first over. He goes full and wide to Brevis, who drives wide of long off. Should be an easy couple, and it is.
I think this is the key now with Noor Ahmed. He's got to get it right from here. I think he was guilty of just holding a little bit too flat, too quick and too wide at times. Really try and, if they can build at least 8 or 9 dot balls here, really put the brakes on South Africa.
A few nerves, just first match of this World Cup. Starts just outside leg to Brevis, who defends into the leg side. There is no run. Stringing a few dot balls together as well, just to put a bit of pressure on the two new batters.
Absolutely, this is key, especially while these two are relatively fresh to the crease. If you can rattle through at least an over, if not 2, definitely help the Afghani cause.
Bowls, and that's skewed off a thickish outside edge towards deep short third rather. They do get through for a quick single, but scampering was David Miller. Had to put in a dive. We've heard the good bowling, the come on boys. There's some standard phrases that keepers use all around the world, aren't there? It doesn't matter where you're from. One brings 2.
Let's go bang bang.
Just adjusting his field slightly there. David Miller spread deep on the leg side. So he comes in, bowls, and Miller is off the back foot defending. Be careful playing off the back foot to foolish deliveries like that to the spinners.
Yeah, especially to these two. Yeah, absolutely, especially these two. They're very quick through the air and off, not very tall spinners either. So they skid on.
Bowls, floats one up wide outside off, and Miller's missed out on that. He drives it straight to short extra cover. It was a bit of a gimme, and had he been a little bit more set, David Miller would have usually smashed that away to the extra cover boundary.
It's not what you want at extra cover, is it? Fielding there, is it? Out the footholes as well.
Goes straighter, and Miller just knocks the ball too long on, takes the single. So much better stuff from Noor Ahmed, just 4 runs from that over, and he conceded 23 from his first. 14 overs gone, 131 for 3. Run rate down to 9.36. They're still very healthy, but they were going at over 10s for quite some time. South Africa players just taking a short drinks break. It's not really the drinks break that Afghanistan would have wanted at this time. They just want to get through their overs now.
Yeah, exactly. They've managed to wrestle back the momentum after that Rickleton-de partnership, which was threatening really to carry South Africa way past 200. I mean, they may still get there, but say looking a little bit more difficult now with the 2 new batters at the crease. But yeah, it's almost you want to keep in the ebb and flow of things as a bowler. You don't really want this break it's come at the wrong time, as you say.
Well, they were 126 for 1 in that 13th over, and then 2 wickets for Rashid Khan in 3 balls, swinging the momentum slightly. They're scoring 88 runs over 7 to 14 rather, after the power play, so still a very healthy turnaround in the end, but they have lost those 2 wickets in quick succession. We've got David Miller there, 1 from 3, Deval Brevis 4 from 4. Remember, if you are just joining us, this is a must-win game for Afghanistan in the context of Group D. South Africa having beaten Canada already, they've got points on the board. New Zealand having beaten Afghanistan in that first game kind of set the tone really for what Afghanistan need to do going forward. They need to beat South Africa because 3 very strong teams in the same group. One of them is going to miss out. And Afghanistan semi-finalists last time, South Africa finalists last time. I don't see anything less than sort of making the Super 8s as a massive failure. New Zealand, on the other hand, just quietly going about their business on the side, aren't they, Cubs?
They're always my pick, New Zealand. They always turn up in the ICC tournaments, just quietly go about their work, slip underneath everyone's radar. But yeah, I mean, this is a massive game for Afghanistan, as you rightly said. I mean, I think anything, not to qualify from the strides they've made would be a huge disappointment for them.
Rashid Khan then is going to get us back underway after the drinks break. 24 from 3 overs. A wicket here would make things interesting. So usually the point in the innings where batting side, particularly going at 9.36 an over, looks to tee off. 6 overs, but 2 Moors batters still at the crease, and they'll take another over or 2 just to get themselves set. Rashid into Miller, who skews the ball to short third, runs through for a single. Rashid with hands on head, thickish outside edge on that.
Loves the theatre, doesn't he, Rashid Khan? This is where you sense he's really enjoying his work today. Getting stuck into these South African batters.
This is final over though. He's into Bravis, who defends into the offside, no run. A little bit late on that Bravis, but in the end got full face of the bat down. 32-4-3. And he comes and he bowls from way back behind, almost where the umpire's standing. Bravis defends. I love it when spinners do a little bit of this, just hop around, use the crease, surprise the batters. We've seen Ashwin do it so many times for India, haven't we? Things like that. This time Rashid does bowl from the regular pop-in crease, and the Bravis moves leg side, punches the ball to deep backward point and gets through for 2. It's good running.
So I think key with Rashid in this, certainly the second part of his spell, he's just slowed things up a little bit. And his line has been very good. He hasn't, again, he's really targeted those stumps. He's made the South Africans have to move around, show their stumps at times, to create room.
Rashid pushes the ball wide as Bravis moves leg side. That's good bowling, just keeping it out of the batter's arc. Shabash, shabash. It's quite a universal thing across the subcontinent. And it's very good, very good. 1 ball remaining in Rashid Khan's spell then. Just goes short of a length, and Bravis doesn't risk anything, just flicks the ball into vacant mid-wicket region, runs through for the single. 4 from the over. Rashid Khan finishes with figures of 4 overs, 2 for 28. 15 overs gone. South Africa 135 for 3. That run rate exactly 9 now, so doing really well to peg things back in the last 3 or 4 overs of Afghanistan. Keep them under 10s for the rest of the innings. I think they'll be happy with themselves. That 200 looked very much on right from the start almost.
Absolutely, and that would have been, I think, a killer blow to Afghans' chances of qualifications. But yeah, I think they'll be very, very happy at this stage. So with 5 overs to go, still a lot of spin options available to them as well. And again, you know, Bravis and Miller haven't really quite got to grips with this pitch just yet. So they'll be, again, if they can shut them down in the next 2 overs.
Right, Simon Mann's going to pick up from...
Well, Rashid Khan there really improving. His first 2 overs went for 21, then he went 2 for 28 from his 4. More bowls. Left arm wrist spin over the wicket. Bowls to Bravis, and Bravis plays it back to the bowl, and there's no run. So just a bit of a squeeze on here from Afghanistan, and that's what they're capable of. They've got the quality in their bowling attack. We've seen it with Rashid Khan. Now Noor Ahmed, who went for 27 from his first 2 overs, back in the side today. Got a big job to do here. Goes in, bowls to Bravis. It's full. It's drilled down the ground, out towards long off. He's hit that hard. Goodness me. Nabi wasn't too far away from it. Just to his right-hand side went the ball, and it scooted to the boundary. 139 for 3.
I mean, that's an incredible shot, I've got to say. I mean, that's not really far off a Yorker, and somehow he's managed to dig it out. But just the power he's generated, I mean, he almost killed David Miller at the non-strikers end, and literally 1 bounce into the boards. It's an incredible piece of timing.
Yeah, magnificent from Bravis. He's on to 11, 139 for 3. Start of the 16th. More left arm over ball short. Bravis goes back, clouts it away towards deep cover. Picked up by the sweeper. 1 more run to the total. Big day in the T20 World Cup today. A team called Australia entering the tournament. Some teams have already played 2 matches. Australia entering the tournament at 9:30 UK time at the Proteas against Ireland. One of the potentially fancied teams. They had that tough time in Pakistan in the lead up. Here's Miller going back and nudging a single into the onside. 141 for 3 in the 16th. And then England-West Indies from Mumbai. England escaping against Nepal the other day. West Indies beating Scotland in their opening game. So that is coming up at 1:30 UK time today. We're bringing those games on various platforms. 5 Sports Extra, BBC Sounds. Here's Noor bowling to Brevis. Brevis puts the bat there and guides it towards backward point. They run through for a single. 142 for 3. BBC Sport website, ABC app, ICC website. Bringing these games, taking it around the world. Bring you every game, every ball of every game in this men's T20 World Cup. Noor bowls, stroked away by Miller on the drive, up towards long on for a single. Noor's over comes to an end. He's gone for 8 in that over. 3 overs to 35 from him. 4 overs left of South Africa's innings. They're 143 for 3.
Just 2 just quietly ticking along. But you get a sense that certainly that chat between the two now in the middle is when do we start to put the foot down and try and press towards something above 180. I think that'd be a pass score for this wicket, you would say.
So Afghanistan have been rattling through their overs here. We might have the first instance of an innings finishing on time.
Good grief.
1 hour and 25 minutes allotted for all the teams to bowl their overs. I mean, it probably will slow down. We've got 15 minutes to get in 4 overs. I normally think at this stage 5 minutes per over, but it depends who's bowling, of course. Often we have the seamers bowling at this stage, and we're going to have a seamer now. Fazal Haq's coming back into the attack. 2 overs, 1 for 5, the left armour. So things will slow down a bit here. Goes in now and bowls to Miller. Short ball, slower ball into the pitch, pulled away towards deep mid-wicket for a single. 144 for 3, start of the 16th over. So if we do finish it after 1 hour and 25 minutes roughly, we'll have a 20-minute break. A bit of a luxury for the players to have a 20-minute break between the innings. We haven't had many of those so far. Indeed, I don't think we've had a single one so far because teams just don't get on with it. They just dawdle along at an IPL pace, and we have 2 drinks breaks as well. Brevis on 13, Miller on 5. So Markram out for 5, de Kock for 59, Rickleton for 61. 100 partnership for the second wicket, but Rashid got them both. Fazal Haq. Faruqi scuttling in and bowled a short ball. Brevis tries to guide it on the uppercut down towards deep third, misses it through to Gurbaz. And South Africa's innings at the moment just beginning to stall. And we said that, I mean, they've got the base from which to build a reasonable score here. And the onus will be on Afghanistan. They have to chase these runs down to stay in the tournament effectively. Okay, there is a sequence of events that mean they could stay in it, but it's unlikely with the way the UAE and Canada have played so far. New Zealand taking down the UAE yesterday, and the UAE batted actually pretty well. Watched that game and a reasonable score, but New Zealand just thrashed them. Fazal Haq bowls, forced away by Brevis, square with the wicket on the offside. Should only be a single, it is. Throws on its way to the base of the stump. Difficult one for Gurbaz, that awkward one from the deep. I suppose you've got the gloves on. You've got the pads on. Not an easy one to take. I think the key there, though, was the feel of getting the ball away quickly to prevent the second. So you can perhaps just accept a bit of lack of accuracy in the throw.
They're never happy keepers, are they?
No.
Always grumpy.
And they're also the chattiest players on the field. You were talking about this earlier, weren't you? Talking about Jack batting with Jack Russell's keeper. Fazal Haq bowls to Miller, slower ball into the pitch, guided away by Miller, down towards deep back of square leg. That's another single. Fazal Haq's doing well in this over. 3 singles from the 4 balls, and 46 for 3. And your keeper needs to bring energy to your team as well. The focal point is one of the issues that England felt they had with Jamie Smith during the winter, that he's quite quiet behind the stumps, and does he bring that energy to the team?
Yeah, he's almost a captain's second set of eyes because he can see all the angles and you know, and he can also tell the captain how the bowlers are hitting the gloves and lines they're bowling. So it's quite an important part of the team.
Fazal balls to Brevis, top edge. I think he might get away with this. It's going down towards fine leg. He does. There's a question there whether that's gone for 6 or 4. It wasn't a perfect shot by any means from Brevis, but it was successful. It's gone for 6 off the top edge. He was not looking to hit it there, but fine leg was up inside the circle and he got away with it. A huge free swing of the bat, and you can have a streaky 6. That was one of them.
Yeah. Again, Faruqi, I'm not really sure why he needed to go to the bouncer, especially with that field as well. With fine leg up in the ring, knowing how strong Brevis is on the short ball anyway, he's going to have a dip, especially at this stage. I'm not really sure that was quite necessary. He was going nicely, just going into a hard length.
Goes in now and bowls back to that length, guided away for a single. Yeah, I don't know what goes through quick bowlers,
mate. Bowlers.
quick bowlers' minds. But I mean, it was streaky from Brevis, but it was kind of a free hit in a way, wasn't it? With a short, fine inside the circle. Okay, if he'd actually hit it well, he might have hit it out to deep square leg and been caught on the boundary. But I suppose that's what you're looking at as a bowler. But didn't happen. He got a top edge over short fine leg, and it went away for 6 runs. So we've had 17 overs. South Africa 153 for 3. During the interval today, we are going to have a look back at yesterday's action in Colombo, where Pakistan beat a spirited USA side. We might also hear from Joss Butler as well, if we've got time. And we might do, with 3 overs left to bowl. So at the moment we're still tracking for a 15-minute interval, so we might well catch up with Joss Butler before England's match against West Indies today in Mumbai. England was Scotland and Italy to play. So if they did beat the West Indies today, they're well on their way. And got past Nepal, who might be the strongest of the other teams in that group. Interesting to see how Nepal get on against West Indies, actually, because they did beat them in a series, beat them a couple of times in a one-day international, in a T20.
Some exciting players in that Nepal team, especially lower down with the bat.
Yeah, it was a brilliant effort from them the other day. Asmat bowls short into the pitch, out towards wide long on. It's picked up in the deep by Sadiq Kala, and they come back for 2 runs.